Okay, now we will show you how to create a custom Windows XP Professional CD to install a minimal Windows XP system. We will customize for that the Windows XP installation CD with a program called WinLite. So, since Windows XP is not safe to surf the internet, we will download it on our host, which is Windows XP in this case, place the file in the shared folder, and access it in Windows XP through the shared folder. Okay, so here comes the browser. So the address is nlightos.com. There you have the latest version 1.4.9.3, and if you click on download, you would be able to download it. I did so already. Note that you need the .NET Framework 2.0. So let's check now our shared folder. So as you already mentioned before, C is the local hard disk, D our CD-ROM, and EE, that's where our shared folder is. So we open it, and here is the program WinLite. If we just double click, setup, okay, he's telling us he needs to download the .NET framework first, so we'll tell him no, cancel. The other thing is the VSUS offline that we will download. I'll just get myself something we should find here in .NET. Okay. Before, the .NET 2.0 was one package. Now it's included in the .NET 3.5. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, so let's do a little bit more complicated. This is just a plain Windows XP installation with Service Pack 2, so there are a lot of updates that are missing, and now we'll dedicate ourselves to those updates first. For that, we will download, as I just mentioned, the WSUS offline packages. So come back. If you go to the if you go to the website download.wsusoffline.net, you will come to this website. You have the most recent version, which is at this time of writing 10.9.2. It's not what we need, so we'll go back to a version called 9.2.1 from the 5th of May 2014. If you download this version, just click here on version 9.2.1. It will ask you to save. Yes, save. Let's save. View downloads. Open folder. Okay, here are things that I downloaded in the past. Here you see the program you would just copy it, then go to our shared folder, which was ehttp share, right mouse click and paste. I already have the file there, so now I'll skip it. This is how you would download a file on the host, copy it to the share folder, and you can access that exact file from your guest machine. Here is the file. Now we will extract all. I want to extract it onto the desktop. You can extract wherever you like. Next. So here he's now creating the WSUS offline folder. If you switch into it, you will find the file called update generator. We'll run this program once the extraction wizard finishes. Okay. Finish. But now that we have the update generator, we just open it. You see a lot of options. We are interested now here in the section Windows XP. Yeah, but not this one. Go to legacy products. Yes, here you find Windows XP. I'm having English, so I will select English. If you have other languages, you would want to select the other languages. Clean up download directories, include service packs, include Microsoft Security Essentials, nope. Include C++ runtime libraries and .NET frameworks, yes. Verified download updates, yes. And then create ISO image per selected product and language. Okay. And then only prepare. Okay. What will happen when I start is you are using yes, a new version is available. No, we do not want to update. He will now run a script in the background. Your list of trust users is outdated. Would you like to? Yes, we would like to update it now. As you see, he's opening Windows. He's downloading all the update files that he's finding on the internet to update Windows XP later without an active internet connection. that saves us bandwidth in the end if we want to update Windows XP more than once. We just don't need to download all the updates for each Windows XP installation that we do. We just download it at once. He will create an ISO image, so a file that is the same content of a CD-ROM. So we could copy the file onto a real DVD and use it in other computers. It is a pretty handy thing. I will now just cancel it. Yes, terminate. No, I don't want to see the log, because as you can guess, I did that already. Here under WSUS, I already have downloaded all the files, and actually this is the content of an ISO image that you would create. You see here the directory ISO. That is where he would put the ready CD image after downloading for a few hours, and the content of that CD is what you see here in this folder. So if I want to update Windows XP, I don't need to download all the files and so forth. I would just run this one program, update installer. He's asking me a few questions. We'll say update C++ runtime libraries. Yes. We do not want to update the media player. We do not want to update the Internet Explorer. We want to update the root certificates. We don't want to back up existing system files. We need to install the .NET 3.5 framework. We don't want to update the remote desktop client. I guess that's it. And we skip the verification. Okay, start. You will need to restart a few times. And since we don't need to download the files, updating the system is also much faster. So first we update the system, install the 3.5 .NET framework. Then we'll be able to install the WinLite program that will enable us to modify the Windows XP ISO image in such a way that we can remove programs that are not needed. As you see here by the progress, update 1 of 2 and update 2 of 2. 2 of 2, as you see here, says SP3 is the Service Pack 3 for Windows XP, which is a very large file, updating many files in Windows XP, and it will take quite some time. Okay, finished installation, and now we have to reboot. So now it's booting Windows XP. Again, we open my computer, go to E, WSUS, start the program again, select the same settings as before. Actually, they are pre-selected, fantastic, just press start. Again, just let him do his thing. Okay, so he finished the updates, so we restart again. Again, we go to my computer, to E, WSUS, the start update installer, and press start. I think technically we already have updated what we needed to update, but let him run through. So now he's installing the updates and it's 137. Okay, so he finished. Now we should reboot the system. We'll do that. Okay, we ran the updates, but there is one small detail. You should still run Windows Update after that, automatic updates, because there are still some updates missing. So we tell them to notify me but not automatically download them. In the meantime, we go back to E. Now we can start the program WinLite. Yes, accept, agreement, install, go, next, finish. Good. We'll now go devices, optical drive, choose our Windows CD, exit. We'll use the desktop, it's easy. Okay. ISO, go. Now, yeah, notice please, we do not double click on it. We make right mouse click and then choose open. Otherwise, if we double click, this will happen. It will open this window, which is not what we want. So right mouse click and choose open. Now we'll mark all of this. Right mouse click, copy, get inside ISO directory and paste. So essentially what we are doing is we are copying the files as files into a subdirectory. Then we will install some files, some updates to Windows XP inside that directory and remove things we don't need, and let WinLite create us a new ISO image that we will then copy to the host and use in all further Windows XP installations. Okay, he copied all the files. Updates were found. Double click on it. Okay, download and install it. In the meantime, we will start WinLite. Okay, next. Select the directory where we just copied the files to. So this one, ISO. Double click here the update. Custom installation. Okay, install. We continue. We have no previous settings to import, so we'll continue next. First, we'll choose Service Pack 3. Want more updates. Will not install Internet Explorer 8. For the moment, we will skip those updates to the .NET framework. This is just to give you an idea how many updates besides the 137 we just installed he still wants to install additionally. And you see there are quite a few. This Windows Genuine Advantage notification, don't install that. And end of support notification, don't install that either. Actually, in a normal installation, you would want to install, yeah, exactly. Don't install the Internet Explorer 8 and don't install these two packages with XP end of support notification and genuine advantage notification. The rest you should install. Now we'll cancel it because we're just creating our ISO image and then destroying this Windows installation again. Good. So we'll skip this part. Drivers, will also not install drivers. Remove components, yes, that's something we want. C for the next ones, and the last one, create the boot will ISO, continue. Select the, so in our WSUS we will have under Windows XP global, no, EN. Okay, we'll arrange those by details and then by size. Yeah, here we have it. Okay, so this file, you see SP3 here, and it's the biggest file, 324 megabytes. That's the file we want to add. Okay, slipstreaming, he's doing that now. The reason I don't want to add hot fixes and updates and so forth, I found it very convenient to run the WSUS update package, and it's just the easiest. Install with Service Pack 3 Windows XP, run the WSUS, he will update you almost everything. Run Windows Update to install the last missing packages, and that's as much as you can do for Windows XP for the moment, since there is no support anymore available, so there are no more updates being released from Microsoft. Note that always when you change, manipulate, tweak things, you can also damage something. So to avoid that any incompatibilities arise, I'm just not installing any hotfixes and updates and so forth. Same goes for the drivers, which is useful if you have specific hardware you need to install, but in this case, no. I'll just run the virtual box guest editions to install the drivers, and that's very simple, convenient, can be done on any virtual machine I'll be installing in the future. Good. Now we have to sort of mark the functionalities that we need. We need fast user switching because it's useful. We need cameras and camcorders, no. DHCP functionality, yes. Internet Explorer, no. Internet Information Services, no. Media Center, no. NT Backup, volume shadow copy, no. Prefetch functionality, why not? Printers, yes, printing is always nice. Remote desktop, why not? Tablet PC, no, I don't think so. Windows activation and sysprep, nope. Windows update website, nope. Okay. So now he's giving us a lot of options. Let's go inside. Directories. Okay. So now we are marking what we want to remove. The ones that are red are the ones that we need according to what we just selected before. Okay, wired auto config, Windows time, volume shadow copy, uninterrupted power supply. We don't need uninterrupted power supply. That's because we are planning to use Windows XP only in a virtual machine. No, I don't think we need this. Okay. So let's make a list of things that we are removing. So maybe we shouldn't start from the bottom but from the top. Applications. Okay, don't need accessibility options. The briefcase doesn't consume anything. Games, no need for games. Internet games. Pinball. Okay. So what we want to remove is accessibility options, games, internet games, pinball, drivers, ATMs not needed, camera and camcorders, display adapters, leave them, LAN, leave, IBM, ISDN, no we don't need ISDN, modems, we definitely don't need modems, multifunctional, portable audio, printers, scanners, SCSI RAID, we don't need SCSI and RAID, serial pentable, Sony job dial, no, sound controller, tape drives, no, touchpad DVD decoder cards, and wireless Ethernet is not needed. Okay. Asynchronous transfer mode, ATM, cameras and camcorders, ISDN, modems, SCSI and rate. Sony job dial, tape, drives, Toshiba DVD decoder card, wireless Ethernet VLAN. So hardware support is the next section. Okay, we'll not bother with that. Keyboards, we'll not bother with that either. And languages, will not bother with that either. Multimedia, let's check that. The Luna desktop theme is kind of cute. No need. Images in background. Media center. No need. Movie maker, no need. Very primitive. Music samples, no need. We want to leave speech support. Leave it. Windows Media Player. I'll leave it also. Okay, so what we don't want is multimedia. Images and background. Luna desktop theme. Media center. Movie maker. That's it. Okay. Next, network. Client for networks is not needed. Front page extensions is not needed. MS chat, phone dialer, and have. Yeah, we will want to leave those. Internet connection wizard. Internet information services we don't need. Don't need the MSN Explorer. network diagnostics, NW-Link protocol, share creation wizard, synchronization manager, Windows Messenger is not needed, but folders is not needed. Actually, it's kind of cute, but let's leave them. Okay, that concludes our list. Network, remove client for networks, front page extensions, internet information services, IIS, MSN Explorer, network diagnostic, NW-Link, IPX, SPX, Net BIOS protocol. And last but not least, Windows Messenger. Good. Operating system options. Let's choose. Don't need the .NET framework. Blaster Nacho removal tool is also not needed. Other things nice. Desktop cleanup wizard useful. Document templates. Dr. Watson not needed. FAT20 conversion. File and setting wizard. File system encryption. Help and support is not needed. I'll leave it anyways. Internet Express wizard not needed. Input method editor is needed. Local security setting very needed. MS XML 2.0, private character editor, search assistant. It's the annoying dog we don't want. Security center just as annoying. Service pack messages. I better leave it. Shell media handler. And symbolic debugger. Not needed. The tour. Not needed. User account picture. Yes, we want that. Web view. Okay. Zip folders also good. Okay, now we are at the next point. Operating system options. .NET framework. So next, Blaster Nachi removal tool. Dr. Watson. I express wizard. Search assistant. Security center. Symbolic debugger. NTSD. Tour. Okay. Now we come to the services. We remove the messenger. We don't want the indexing services. This disables the search, but since it's Windows XP and we want to search, we can just as well install Google Desktop, which also isn't getting any updates for many years. We don't want remote registry. Actually, the services, we can also disable them later on in Windows itself. Yeah, leave it like that for the moment. Services indexing. Messenger. Remote registry. Service advertising protocol. What is that? Leave it. If we want to disable, we can always disable it later on. Okay, now the UPS. No need to bother myself with that. Remote registry. Okay, let's leave those three only. Last but not least, all directories. Before we remove those three directories, let's take a look at what's inside those directories. So support, tools. I don't think we need this. Next, value add. I don't like this view detail. It's an HTML file, not needed either. Docs, just a logo. Okay, we can remove those. Let's go back. Next, unattended. So here we can pre-configure some settings to speed up the installation. You'll just ask us less questions. I think hide pages sounds very good. OM pre-install, I don't think we need that. No, there's no need for OM pre-install. Hide pages we'll just give him the answers and he won't ask us any questions. The program files path, we choose the normal one. Data execution prevention, we want opt out. This means that it will be running on all programs, not only just the Microsoft ones. Okay, that is not what I want. Close. And if a program shouldn't work, then you should take a look if it's related to DEP. But normally it's I can't think of when I came across a problem with that. We don't want hibernation. We don't want to turn off the firewall. Skip OOBE. Now we leave that on. System restore service. Turn it off. Turn it on. Turn it on. Computer tab automatic sounds fine. Okay. System restore service will just means that he will use 12% of the hard disk space to save some important system files for up to 30 days. And if something should go wrong, you can roll back the system restores to an earlier stage. So you will lose the latest installations, the latest changes you did to the computer, but you will on the other hand get a functioning computer back. That's basically the idea. So if you install a program, this program is doing some changes to the computer, and after that the computer isn't starting, you can undo those changes of that computer program. Run ones we don't need. Users, okay, why not? We'll create an account called user. No need for a password. There is no auto log on, I don't like that. And he belongs to the user group. And we'll create a new user called admin that belongs to the administrator group, has a blank password, and again there is no auto log on, and the administrator account is not active. Doesn't need, can have a blank password, and the guest is also deactivated. So we have our user account and our admin account, both without password. Computer name, workgroup is workgroup, and computer name is computer. Notice please that each computer in your network should have a unique name. This means if you have 3 virtual machines and they're sort of all running beside each other, then you should rename the computer name of the first one, for example, to computer 1, the second one to computer 2, and the third one to computer 3, so that they don't have all the same name computer. Region, we just leave as it is. Network settings, we also leave as it is. Desktop theme, just leave as it is. Automatic updates disabled. Elevate non-admins, include minor updates, but disable. Display, leave all on default. Components, good. Next. Now we can have more settings. We want to clean the MUI languages. Yes. OM branding, press any keyboard. Yes. Remove duplicate files. Yes. We'll save a copy of the current configuration on the ISO if we want to do some changes. Okay. Patches. We leave default. Okay, we will disable SFC. What SFC means is that Windows is keeping a copy of your important system files, and if you should change one of those system files you are using, he notices the change, compares it back to the copy that he has in FSC directory, and if he notices that they are different, he will overwrite the one you changed. It's a nice protection mechanism which consumes also space, and since this is not a desktop computer that will frequently how should I say it? Since this is just a computer for testing, that you will install 1, 2, or 3 applications on it and go to the next virtual machine to try another 3 other applications. So it's not a normal desktop computer that has 50 programs installed and so forth, and you never know what these 50 programs can do on your hard disk. So the chances of really screwing your system files up is not so high. So we can disable it. On a normal running computer, I would recommend to have it enabled for higher system integrity, so to keep your system safer. But we'll leave it disabled for the moment. And we can enable this also. Next. More options. Show advanced. So these are registry tweaks. Oops. Okay, we should write down what we are doing. General hide pages. When pre-install, disable program files path default data execution prevention opt out prod. If you have a product key, you could enter it, but since this is installation media that we want to use many times, I will want to enter in for each different virtual machine a different product key, so I'm leaving it blank. Computer type out automatic turn off hibernation. System restore service enabled for percent 30 days. Users as needed, e.g. admin and user. Next user, not power user. Full name we should use give him user. So this is owner and network ID. Computer name computer. Work group full name user. Region as needed. Network settings unchanged. Desktop themes and default. Automatic updates. Elevate non-admins. Include minor updates. Automatic updates disabled. Or let's leave it on notify before download. Notify before download. Display play as needed. Components not active. Options, general, I don't like this. You see, in Windows XP the users are under documents and settings, while in Windows 7 they are under users. So I will want to change the profile path. Profile path is system drive users. So we'll change this documents and settings to users. That's it. Temporary folder, user profile, local settings temp is fine. The Windows directory is Windows, also fine. Clean muy languages support entries, yes, and remove duplicate files. Remove duplicate files enabled. Then patches, unsigned theme support, UX theme patch enable, and SFC Windows file protection disable. Next. Okay, tweaks. Boot and shutdown. Okay, we'll try to change as little as possible, because if you customize your settings too much, the problem is that if someone else should use your ISO image to do the installation, he will not know what are the tweaks you applied and will find himself confronted with weird behaviors, things he wouldn't be expecting. So we'll try to change just the necessary. Actually, there are a few things I like on the desktop. One is the recycle bin, the computer, the documents. The network place is actually not so much, but why not? Okay, so desktop. My computer icon, show my documents icon, show my network places icon, show and recycle bin icon, show. Explorer. Show hidden files and folders. Show extension of known file types. Disable auto runs. Okay, this is what we want. Explorer. We want to disable the auto run because it's in the past has proven to be pretty harmful. You have a USB, put it inside your computer, he runs auto run, there's a virus on the USB and your system is infected before you even notice what happened. And we want to see the extensions of our files. Show extensions of known file types, and also hidden files, we want to see them. System files, we are not showing them because it does affect the user experience in a negative way. We just have some icons there that are necessary but just bothering the eye. So we'll hide them. Internet Explorer. Actually, since we won't be using it, we can just pretty much ignore everything. Yes. My computer. Don't want to change anything here either. Network. Disable administrative shares. That's it. Performance. Disable last access timestamps on file. And disable optimize hard disk when idle. it so happens that every time you read a file, you save a file, or whatever you do with the file, he will record the time and date you did that. And this recording means he has to save, which means it takes time to save the file, which slows your computer unnoticeably, but it does slow your computer down. So we'll just turn it off. Disable last access timestamps on files and disable optimize hard disk when idle. The reason why we disable the optimize hard disk when idle, the virtual machine can run in the background. You can use your host, so your computer is busy, but your virtual machine is not busy, so you don't want the virtual machine to be starting to work on the hard disk in the background just because the guest doesn't know that the host is really busy, thinking though it is the computer is idle. Will enable minimal power saving. So that we can, as he writes, use advantage of CPU, of the new functions for CPUs to save energy. Run 16-bit applications in a separate process, a good idea. That's it. Privacy. Remove Alexa. Disable error reporting. Privacy. Disable error reporting. Remove Alexa. Always show updates on the software. Okay, we will reduce pop-up delay. If you go here on start, it takes a little while for the menu here to open, and this setting, reduce pop-up delay, reduces that from 400 milliseconds to 20 milliseconds, which is nice. default. Last but not least, Windows Media Player. Actually, here I would like to set some settings. Windows Media Player. Accept privacy statement, disable all streaming protocols, disable auto add music to the library. Yeah, that one. Disable automatic codec download, yes. Metadata retrieval. Disable scripting commands. Disable silent acquisition. No media guide. Yes, enhance privacy. No need for context menu entries. Okay, Windows Media Player. Accept privacy statement. Disable all streaming protocols. Disable automatic codec download. Disable metadata retrieval. Disable scripting commands. Disable silent acquisition. Disable starting with media guide. Enhance privacy settings. Remove all context menu entries. Okay, now services. All these services. Okay, let's see what we do not want. I would need to compare what are the default settings. 1 second. I'll check that. Okay, let's continue. We don't want the alerter service. We want it disabled. Application layer gateway. Manual. manual, 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 no error reporting, disable, manual, 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 disabled, manual, 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 disabled, share hardware detection disabled, smart card, manual, SSDP discovery disabled, schedule a manual, 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 disabled. Terminal services manual. Beams uninterruptible power supply. Manual. Universal plug and play off. Web client. No need for wireless configuration. Okay, it's quite a long list. So, we want disabled, alerter, error reporting, reporting service, and help and support. Net bias over TCP/IP. Network DDE, network DSDN, routing and remote access, shell hardware detection, SSDP discovery service, telnet, universal plug and play device host, wireless configuration. Okay, manual, application layer gateway service, application management, automatic updates, background intelligent transfer service, bits, clipbook, plus event system, plus system application, computer browser is not part of it, distributed link tracking client, distributed transaction coordinator DTC, extensible authentication protocol service, fast user switching compatibility, health key and certificate management service, HTTP SSL, IMAP CD burning form service, IPsec services, net logon, net meeting, remote desktop sharing, network access protection agent, network provisioning service, anti-LM security support provider, performance logs and alerts, portable media serial number service, QoS RSVP, remote access auto connection manager, remote access connection manager, remote mode desktop, help session manager, removable storage, smart card, task scheduler, TCP IP net BIOS helper, telephony, terminal services, uninterruptible power supply, okay. The thing to notice is I'm putting many services on manual. Most probably many of them are by default on manual, but I don't know which ones are and which ones aren't, so just putting quite a few on the list. For example, if you need remote desktop, you should put terminal service on automatic. So you have to see, depending on what you use, which services you have to turn on automatic to have them always running. Next. Okay, now we're done. Now we can start the process. Go. Save as WinLite2. Now we can close it. We have a pretty basic installation, but we installed the .NET framework, and our Windows directory, which was in the beginning just 1 GB big, grew to be 2.4 GB big. We'll see under folder options, we want to see hidden files, we want to see extension, and we also want to see hidden operating system files. Okay, so here we have two folders we can just delete. Software distribution has small size. This is where when he downloads the updates, he will store them under software distribution downloads, and once you install them you can copy them away to another hard disk to use them on another computer, or just delete them. Okay. The folder DLL cache is 245 megabytes, is just a backup of important system files that you're using. So if I would modify any of these files in their original location, he would then give me a warning and replace them back, undo my modification. And by turning off SFC, we can sort of scratch those 250 megabytes almost. Okay, let's check. After deleting, we're still left with 2.2 gigabyte data. Here under system volume information, he will store, but it's not accessible to you. He gives you an error message if you want to access it. He will store restore points. So configuration files for Windows, system files, important files that he finds useful if you should need to undo a last installation or a few last installations. Continue. So now we have the option to create an image. That's what we want. Give it the name WinXP ENSP3 Lite. Okay. Default with boot sector, and now we make ISO. Put it on the desktop. Okay, next. Finished. So this file here is the file we'll use in the future to install Windows XP. So we'll copy it outside of this computer. This is the file. It has a size of 460 megabytes, and here is our drive E. So we'll just take it and drop it on E. He's now copying the file. There is a Windows tour I never used.
Welcome to Windows XP from Microsoft, the new version of Windows that brings your PC to life. Experience the best. Experience Windows XP. Best for business. Windows XP Professional shines as a business operating system. Get more work done faster, easier, anytime, anywhere. Safe and easy personal computing. Thanks to Windows XP, personal computing just got a whole lot easier and more fun. Unlock the world of digital media. Windows XP is your ticket to exciting digital media at home and on the internet. The connected home and office. Get connected. Windows XP makes it easy to share and link computers. See for yourself how easy Windows XP is to use. Take this brief tour. To begin the tour, click any selection.
Okay, so you should run the tour once to get an idea, because the new installation media doesn't have the tour included.
You get the proven dependability of Microsoft Windows 2000, enhanced for high-speed performance and even greater reliability.
We will cancel at this point. So you should run the tour just once to get an idea. If we now look here on our E double point, you see the file was copied. So basically now we are ready to shut down Windows XP. Yes. And since we will not be using this Windows XP anymore, this is how you would delete a virtual machine. Just go here, right mouse click, choose remove. When asked, delete all files. Answer was delete all files, and the virtual machine is gone. To create now a new virtual machine, I will show this now in the next video.